Welcome to this lecture, and the content of this lecture is regarding performance indicator as per new examination reform policy. I am Dr. Akash Saxena, associated with Swami Keshwanand Institute of Technology, Department of Electrical Engineering. In our previous lecture, we have discussed about the mapping of program outcomes with the course content and course outcomes. So, sometimes this program outcome mapping with the course outcomes are quite catchy, and it is not easy for the assessment, and direct assessment from the program outcome statements cannot be easily derived because these are generic statements. So, when I say courses are the building blocks of the program and each course is associated with the course outcome, each course is designed for achieving some certain outcomes. So, teaching strategies, learning activities, assessments and resource should all be designed and organized to help student to achieve the learning outcomes. So, these learning outcomes are actually main focus, and prima facie we concentrate on these learning outcomes. The position where we assess the activities related to the student, where student demonstrate their level of achievement for the course learning outcomes, are actually quite crucial when we are assessing these activities and when we are mapping these activities assessment with the generic program outcome statements. So, when I say generic statement, so I say that if a particular CO is contributing to a PO, let me say it is engineering knowledge. So, engineering knowledge is actually can be subdivided into level of competencies. So, there are level of competency, and each competency is having their indicator. So, in this lecture we will discuss how these competencies and how these performance indicators which are attached with the competency can be helpful for achieving the PO's assessment. So, for the effectiveness of the program, the achievement of the PO is crucial, and hence a certain mechanism design down process is required so that we can decompose each assessment method employed for the program outcomes. As I say, it is a design down process. That means we are having POs, that means program outcomes, then we are having course outcomes, and then we are having individual learning experience. So, in our case, in my university case, what is actually given, these POs or program outcomes are actually predefined. These are predefined generic statements, and these are related to related with two parts: engineering knowledge and human values, universal human values. Some part of it says communication skills, some part of it says ethics. So, these POs are broadly divided into 3-4 parts. So, these POs are actually correlated, and when I take a subject like mathematics or maybe AI applications in mechanical engineering, like the subject like this, what I do, I frame the COs, and this is totally my competency, that how I frame the COs, how I design the CO, and how I map the COs with POs. So, once this is done, individual learning experience can be obtained, it can be quantified in terms of midterm result, or you can say maybe it can be quantified as the external examination result or university examination result. So, it says that outcome based education is a design down process where this is fixed. Now, I am designing this, and accordingly I am evaluating this. I cannot here in my case I will not I won't be able to change this, but what I can do, I can modulate this on the basis of learning experience, on the basis of assessment, on the basis of my personal interpretation skills regarding PO, PSO and the vision and mission of the institute. So, accordingly these are actually not these are not actually fixed, these are flexible parameters, and individual learning experience is totally dependent upon the performance of the student in that particular subject. So, outcomes at each successive level need to be aligned with contribute to the program outcome. So, these are all the derivatives. If I say that derivatives of the POs are COs, and the COs derivatives are individual learning experiences which any student or any teacher can be obtained for conducting that particular course. It is actually a two-step process because POs give useful guidance at the program level for curriculum design, delivery and assessment of the student level. However, they represent fairly high level generic goals. So these generic goals are not actually too much competent enough to we are not too much competent enough to map our outcomes with high level generic goals. So because these are generic statements, that's why we need some indicators, some decomposition is required. So what you do, we are having one PO statement, then what we do, we decompose this PO statement into three part, and then further we decompose this particular statement or competency statement into the performance indicator. So this is how the decomposition of a PO statement can be done into competency, and then competency statement into the program level indicators or program indicators. So for observing the attainment of the POs, what we do at course level, it is quite difficult. That's why we require some high level learning outcomes with course content, course outcome in the assessment method. So there is a necessity to bring further clarity of a specificity of the program outcome. Now let us see the step 1. So if I say step 1, it is the identification of the competency to be attained for each PO defined, and let me define competency for each PO, different ability associated with it, and program outcome statement which is closely associated with different ability and different competency. Suppose after completion of this program, let me say engineering knowledge. So engineering knowledge, what I can say engineering knowledge for this, let me, after employing this engineering knowledge, I will be able to conduct a research in the field of maybe AI. I will be able to make interpretation of different literature available. I will be able to design some solution methodology for healthcare or for society. This maybe can be the competency statement. Then other PI indicators can also be framed. So now let me give you one example. So for helping, so this helps us to create a shared understanding of the competency. What we want to achieve from the student, what we want the students to be achieved. So these are an intermediate step, a decomposition step. Now the level 2 is define performance indicator for each competency identified. Define performance indicators which are PIs, that are explicit statements of expectation of the student learning. So they can act as a measuring tool in assessment to understand the extent of the course outcome. They can also be designed to determine the appropriate achievement level of competency or competency of each indicator. Now let me take the example of PO3. PO3 is design and development of the solution. So this document I have taken from the new examination reform policy of the AICTE. So if I say competency, if I read out the competency, it is regarding about design and development of the solution for complex engineering problems. So competency, what I will be, this PO statement can be decomposed into three parts. That the student, after completion of this subject, the student will be able to demonstrate an ability to define a complex open-ended problem in engineering terms. The student will be able to demonstrate an ability to generate a diverse set of alternative design solution. Student will be able to demonstrate an ability to select the optimal design scheme for further development. A student will be able to demonstrate an ability to advance an engineering design to the defined end state. So if I take this example, this competency set 2, it can be divided into, further decomposed into 3 PIs. So performance indicator related to this competency statement is the student will be able to apply formal idea generation tools to develop multiple engineering design solutions. So see here, this particular competency is talking about demonstrate an ability to generate a diverse set of alternative design solutions. So what you need to do, you are designing alternative solutions. So if you are designing this alternative solution, the PI indicator can be to apply formal idea generation tools to develop multiple engineering design problems. Now, next competency will be to build model, prototypes, algorithm to develop a diverse set of design solution and identify the functional and non-functional criteria for evaluation of alternate design. So, these are three performance indicators associated with this competency statement. This is a pictorial representation which I have taken from AICT examination policy. So, you just see here there is a generic statement, then what we do, we have defined some competency level, 3 competency level are there. Then there are 3 performance indicator statement which is stated over here. So, if I say that you can say that if this PO is PO1 is associated, in this example PO1 is associated with 3 competency, and this further divided to 8 PI indicators. So, sometimes what you do assessment, for the assessment or for the mapping, what you do, you actually map your course with the PIs. That means if if you are doing a mapping, let me say this is the course outcome 1 and this is PO1, and you are mapping this particular PO1 with the CO, your CO1, what you will do, you will write your competency level here, and likewise if you are having 6 competency level which is mapping with the PO1, that means 6 out of 8 is mapping, that means 75% mapping is done. So, you may assign a value, okay, the attainment, or maybe you say the mapping of this CO with PO is strong, maybe 3 to 1. 3 levels are assigned to this. So, this is 3 to 1. Accordingly, you can choose your values. So, suppose I give mapping 3 for a particular performance indicator, if the value of this particular indicator is greater than or equal to 75. If it is between 75 and 50, I can give another value, and this is according to your institute specific. So, in some institutes 0 to 33% we give 1, 33 to 66% we give 2, above than 60% we give 3. So, it is actually upon you how you define your mapping. I will take an example. So, suppose this course outcome statement is written after completion of the subject, after completion of this course, student will be able to acquire knowledge of the advantage of compensation and will learn several aspects as description, operation characteristic of thyristor based fact devices, like this. Here you can see that 1.1, 1.1.2, 1.31, 1.4.1 statement is matched, and here I have shown the mapping of PO and PSO. So, all the indicators which are actually coming with this 1 is related to PO1, and all these indicators which are related to, which are starting with 2 are indicated with PO2, and this is indicated with PO12. Now, if you see this particular course outcome is mapped with PO1, PO2 and PO12. Let us see further bifurcation. Let me see the competency level which is mapped here is 1.1, and 2 statements are taken, 1.1.1, 1.1.2. Now, this demonstrate competency in basic science is not actually applicable on this subject, because we are talking about a specific electrical engineering subject. So, it is not apply natural science laws here is not applicable, and it is not very much applicable on this particular CO. That is why I omitted it, and I take these 3 competency level which is associated with the CO1. So, what we are doing over here, we are making PO1 mapping with CO1 statement, and this is the competency which are mapped, and these are the program indicator which are mapped. Likewise, you can also do the mapping of the PO2 with the CO1 statement. So, here all these bold phases are shows that these are closely related with the CO1. So, student will be able to demonstrate an ability to identify, formulate complex engineering problem. He will be able to demonstrate an ability to formulate a solution plan, demonstrate an ability to formulate and interpret a model, demonstrate an ability to execute a solution process and analyze the results. So, this was related to the power quality problems, power quality and flexible AC transmission devices, all these are closely matched. And what I have omitted, that student will produce and validate result through skillful use of contemporary engineering tools and models. So this is a theory course, and moreover the contemporary engineering tools and models are not actually taught in this particular under the flagship of this particular CO course outcome. That's why I am not mapping it over here. So from here you can see that these things are actually based on your interpersonal skills, and the proper justification you should be having for this. Now if I try to map this with the PSO, so if you see that it is actually mapping highly with the PSO. So these are two PSO statements which I have written. After completion of the subject or after completion of the course, the student will be applied, the graduate will be able to apply the concepts of electrical and electronic engineering. Yes, this is matched. Also the student will be able to demonstrate an ability to identify for, yes, it is also matched. And all the indicators, competency related to the PSOs and competency related to the indicators are mapped. So this PSO 1 statement, which is not shown here, is actually satisfying two competencies C1 and C2, and further this C1 and C2, C1 is having PI1 to PI3 indicators, and likewise this is having only one PI indicator, so it is mapped. Likewise, we can also always see that the student will exhibit higher research proficiency, design innovative project solutions. So these all are mapped highly. So this is how in this lecture what we have discussed. We have discussed design down process, and decomposition of the PSO statement, to competency, and further it is decomposed into PI. Thank you very much for the understanding and patience listening.